just want to get a little looseness on the wing nut. And then this stick part is called the tiller, and that's what you steer with. So, and then it swivels so that if you come up to a beach or something, the rudder can kick up and it doesn't stop you. So that has to go under this. This is called the traveler, even though it doesn't travel anywhere. But some sailing ships they do. And then you run that tube through there. And it has to wiggle a little bit to get in there. Yeah, I think so. There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
And then be sure to move the toggle. And then you can snap this down, and then you can move this out of the way. You can tighten the wing up. And you have a little adjustment. You can really lock it in place and then the rudder won't kick up. Or if you leave it loose, sometimes if you get going fast, the rudder will kick up by itself, which you may not want. But that's how you adjust that. So that's how that goes. And then you don't want to lose that wing nut, because if this comes off, then you have nothing to control the tension of the rudder. I'll try to hang on to this and not forget it, or I'll put it here so I don't lose it. Centerboard, it's just, I think this is the leading edge, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So,
We're not going fast.
you're not going fast. And it's what they call a dagger board, because all you do is you just punch it in. And you can lift it up while you're underway. Like again, if you do go through some weeds and it starts dragging, you can lift it up enough, the weeds fly off and you can put it back out. And if you get into racing and things like that, people sometimes they'll pull it up a little bit so there's less drag. But as far as you're concerned, since the lake's so deep, you'll normally operate with it all the way down. Another thing is if or when you capsize the boat, because it'll happen sooner or later, to right it with the centerboard all the way down, hopefully this spring will keep some tension on so the board stays in place. And then you get alongside and visualize the hull upside down, and the bottom of this would now be sticking up. You get alongside, you grab a hold of this, and you just kind of start pulling, and if all goes to plan, the sail will kind of weather vane underwater, and it'll come up, and then you can the whole thing will just pop up after you get past buoyancy. So you can write it, by yourself out in the lake. But it is kind of funny that people come racing over. Did you help? Did you help? So watch this. No, we're good. So just to be out of the way. The sail is a little fiddly. Hard probably. This boom, these are both called booms, but this boom has to be the bottom one because the line that controls the sail will run through those pulleys. And the other bottom.
And you got the window.
You got the window. So you just take the whole thing. You don't have to lift the whole boom up, but get that started. can see where it's kind of discolored. That's where that normally rides. That drops all the way down. Probably want it about that high. You can, again, you can have it lower if it's really windy. When you get more proficient and comfortable, the higher is more likely to knock you over.
Sure.
So you might want to go lower.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna run this through the pulley here. And then lock it. And you have you used it clean?
In the cleat, of course.
You're familiar with this,
Yeah.
yeah. So let's do this.
Okay.
I've done one.
And then do you run this?
No, this one,
Oh,
this
okay.
line is done, and you can coil it around or just
Sure.
let it drag. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then the sheet line, this is
Oh, okay.
The weight is more.
what weight is more.
Thank you, Mon.
But we're getting towards the end. So this.
Thank you for coming.
So this clip here goes onto the traveler.
The traveler.
The traveler comes back
Of course.
this little loop. And you want to make sure that it engages well. And then this line goes through these pulleys. Here. And it's a good idea to tie a knot in the end of this. So if it gets away from you, it slips, your hand's wet, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
The line doesn't whip out of all the pulleys and then
Cut you in half.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
cut you in half.
Ah.
So yeah, so then what you do is when the wind hits the sail, the boat's going to want to tip. So there's a high side and a low side, and you usually always want to be on the high side,
Sitting on it.
sitting on
Yeah,
it.
okay.
So the idea is, you just pretty well have your feet in there. You're sitting on
Yep.
the deck. You're not in the cockpit there. And then you got the tiller. So if you're on the high side, I would probably one hand on the tiller, one hand on the sheet line.
Okay.
And then this is how you control how far out the sail goes, and that's important for tacking and when you're changing course.
Okay.
So then, when the time comes to turn, and there's kind of a process for that, you want to have a little bit of momentum going for you. And then if the boat's tipped and the boom is out this way, your boat's leaning this way, you want to kick the rudder around so the stern goes like under the boom, and then when you kind of get to the equilibrium point, you can kind of switch to what's now going to be the high
High
side,
side. I see.
and then the process continues.
It's catching already.
I know, man, this thing wants to sail. This
It
is awesome.
does. He's yearning for the ocean.
Yeah. So that's about it for now.
Wow. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fabulous.
I would come back and do
High
it.
side
No, we're gonna
Eyesight
have-
system.
So yeah, so this is just like what you want. So you'd be sitting there, or you could hold it, whatever's comfortable. To take some of the stress off your arm over time as you're doing it, you can use this little hook to hold the Yeah.
chill.
We're gonna capsize right here. Take out the guy's truck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we can get into the actual sailing. But when this is totally slack and the sail is just weather vaning, you know, it's not really doing any work. They call it luffing. It's luffing. And with this channel, you'd probably want to use that little paddle and just, you know, get your way out to where you can catch some open wind, and then when you pull in the sheet line, it's going to want to start moving. You know, as soon as the sail catches wind, and then you just kind of do what you want to do with the rudder.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
You're gonna be a pro at this.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be in the water for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but, and again, we'll cross this bridge again when we get to it. But sometimes when the wind's really going, and man, it's heeling over, and you're getting further and further as high as you can to counteract that. Well, then you're going faster and faster, so that's part of the fun. But if the boom starts dragging in the water, you're pretty close to going over.
Oh, no.
But you can control that by giving it slack, and then the sail will, what they call, spill the wind. It'll dump the wind, and then it doesn't have that force to knock you over.
Okay.
So you're kind of balancing that as well as, you know, steering. And when you're trying to sail back upwind, then that's where you're tacking. You know, you got to zigzag because you can't sail into the wind. But there's a way of telling, kind of like when you're as close to into the wind as you can, and then, you know, there's no more, so you just go as far as you can that way, turn, go as far as you, and you'll kind of keep advancing as you go. So you'd probably end up getting to the mouth of the channel and paddle back in. But it'd be fun to, when the wind's right, you could sail right to the dock there. So,
Wow.
so yeah.
Man, you told
Well,
me.
I hope you use it. I hope you use it and like
I
it.
think we will. I think we will have some good time.
Did you say it's a 1 or 2 person?
It'll handle 2 fine. 3 is okay if, I mean, it's kind of awkward because you're just bumping into each other and moving around when you go from high side to low side. But it can handle 3 adults just fine.
Wow.
But 2 is probably what's kind
2
of
and a
designed.
baby.
2 and a baby.
Dog.
Ditch the baby. if it
And
gets too
you know,
much.
count on getting wet. The water's going to splash over. You know, but that's all part of the fun. So yeah, cool. So yeah, and really, there's not that much to it to bring it. So you can be underway.
Okay, let's see the reverse. Let's see it come down.
Okay, so
You untie your knot.
I untie the knot. Disassemble from the traveler. Very good. This one is the sheet. Sheet. The sail is the sheet. Oh, sheet. Not hurt an airplane. And then that one's called the halyard, and I guess it's like for hauling. It's like back in the sailing boat day, that's how you haul the sail up.
Approach the seawall.
That's what Jim and I think we might have to get off at the pier. Almost like at the end of that bump out. So that you
Yeah.
can hit the concrete.
You could put it on the little rollers and at least, you know, get it to the edge. This one's called the bow line because it's on the bow. Pretty fun. Just kind of like
That's what you want. All the wind takes.
we can kind of gather this in as it comes. Yeah, pull it through, take up this slack, and then I think that should be long enough to help wrap the sail when it's all wrapped. So, pull it up.
watch those boards strike us out. If you trip, it's just I don't want to be star student. I'll wait till we put that back.
That's a lot easier to rig than a Sunfish. I saw some videos and it looked a lot harder. Oh.
Yeah, you should do your homework.
Others with stays and
Research.
this is loose. We'll just pull that pin again. Just slips out. And then this extension, sometimes you'll, depending on where you're sitting, you can use this for that, or you can just leave it doubled up. And if you're sitting more in the back, like if you have two adults forward and the person in the back doesn't have that much room, but if you're sailing by yourself, sometimes you want to be a little further forward, and then you have this extension for that. Yeah. So, are these going to just live out there?
Sure,
or is it-
yeah.
okay.
If you want to just throw it out.